Got kind of a funny survey from the American Legion, of all places. If you're not familiar with the American Legion, it's one of the more prominent veterans' rights um, association groups. Say, for example, you need your disability from the VA, or if you need veterans related care, you hire the American Legion. So, I get this survey today. Now, you're going to see me going my head back and forth. Now, I'm not a veteran. I come from a long line of veterans. I support veterans' causes, so that's why I got this survey. But let's do this survey together, okay? And also, don't attack me if you don't agree with my responses. The whole goal of this video is the point is veterans deserve better than this, okay? First, are you currently an active duty member? No, I'm not. Second, which branch? I'm not an active member. Third, do you agree with the American Civil Liberties Union that the religious symbols should be removed from U.S. military cemeteries and establish war memorials like the Mojave Desert Cross? Fourth, do you believe an act like the burning the U.S. flag is a form of speech and should be protected? It's technically a form of free speech under the Supreme Court, and technically it's traditionally protected. Do I agree with it? No, because of it's kind of like saying fuck the United States, but it is technically, according to the courts, a freedom of speech method, so I have to respect it. But that's just my personal opinion. Again, save your comments for someone who cares. But do you think the government does enough to support military families? Now that's a question. Now that's a very good question. Traditionally, Democrats care more about veterans' causes. That's part of the reason why I vote for Democrats. What are they doing for veterans' causes? What was in Build Back Better that was related to veterans? There was a little bit that was basically to enhance the buildings, but there wasn't much for patient care. Now, next question. Do you feel the VA should cover treatment of illnesses that are linked to service-related toxic exposure? I didn't even know that this was still up for debate. You mean to tell me that if you're serving in foreign countries and if you're exposed to diseases like malaria, or, like my father was exposed to Agent Orange and he got a disability on that, but we still have to have this debate? Seriously? Do you know that veterans make up 1/5 of the country's homeless population? Now that's what concerns me. Arizona, that's where I live. I can't go outside without seeing homeless vets. There is still, to this day, very little being done for outreach for homeless veterans. I was at a commemoration of a new building for homeless vets that was not enough apartments, basically, to help this community. And that took about 5.5 years just for one apartment building for homeless veterans. And that was a political nightmare, to be perfectly honest. Do you feel the phrase "under God" in our Pledge of Allegiance should be removed? That is, yes. I have long always said that we should always kind of, if you're in some type of role that swears an oath to the Constitution, you swear an oath to the Constitution. You don't have to have the term under God in it anymore. According to the Treaty of Tripoli in John Adams, we are not a Christian nation. You know, that's why we don't have kings or queens or like the church, like England is ruled by the Church of England as a form of governance because its church is tied into its governance. We technically have the right to choose our own God in our own private mind. But according to the American Legion, God still needs to be protected, even though that there's still bigger problems. And last but not least, do you support or oppose the practice of students in Tucson reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in every day of school? Do we still need to do this? Okay, so the reason why I read this survey out loud is because the American Legion itself is only half focusing on true veteran problems. The Pledge of Allegiance and under oath of God, those are kind of superficial problems. Those are not real problems veterans face. Those are not problems the VA has. That's not problems that veterans have feeding their families. So until bullshit like this is addressed and stopped, and maybe you send out questions, on how American Legion can help improve the daily lives of its veterans, veterans care is never going to be properly addressed in this country. And I've said it before, and I said it, and I'm going to say it till the cows come home. It's going to be $1 trillion problem. It's still $1 trillion problem. It's going to take trillions of dollars. And will people spend trillions of dollars? It's going to be an uphill battle, but it'd be worth it in the long run. But in this current climate, no. Do people care about it? Maybe. But do people act like they care about it? Sure. But in their heart of hearts, no. It's still stigmata.